Welcome to Between Two Molars, an open conversation of the wins, setbacks, and messy middle of business ownership. A new kind of podcast that pulls back the curtain. No fluff, real conversations, real lessons, and the real life of running an orthodontic practice. So sit back between two molars and let's get into it. Welcome to Between Two Molars, the space where real orthodontic conversations happen.
I'm Diana Weaver.
And I'm Michelle Shimmin. Together, we're diving into the real-life challenges, wins, and wisdom from inside the orthodontic practices.
So grab your coffee and get comfortable. It's time to talk Between Two Molars.
And today's segment is
a great one.
It is. It's a big one. It's on AI automation and the human touch. So this is really interesting to talk about and to kind of bring to light the challenges that every practice faces, and that's balancing technology adoption with authentic patient connection.
And AI is everywhere. I mean, I think the last time I traveled, I went through, don't judge me, a Wendy's to get some chicken nuggets, and the board was all automated. It was all AI automation in there, which was a pleasant experience for me, but it streamlined the process. So
I just read an article where in 10 years, the jobs that aren't going to be around anymore due to AI, and truck driving was one of them, which is a little bit interesting to me. I'm not sure how that will work out. Drones for sure, yeah. Mm-hmm. And in Seattle, we have quite interesting delivery aspects with technology from Amazon. We have those robots that go around, and
I don't have that at my house in Arkansas.
You don't even have Amazon delivery?
No, we do.
Well, I do understand the challenges that practices can struggle with and face around changes with technology. And as I say all the time, I feel like this has been the fastest change that we've experienced in the last 4 to 5 years with technology, and it's just going to continue to get faster. So how do practices balance that efficiency and benefit that these technology solutions provide the practice without losing that human touch? And I think that that's really important. And we just wanted to discuss how we can continue with that relationship people connection and still utilize what technology and AI will provide to us within the practices. And the first thing that I wanted to discuss and share was that, I understand there is a fear behind the adoption, and how can we address that fear with empathy? And the first thing that I wanted to be able to elevate our guests with today and validate the fact that, change is uncomfortable, and that can be a really difficult place to be in. But if we can understand what's in it for us in our roles, it can really help us understand the benefit of making those changes. And I say all the time, the most expensive words in business are we've always done it this way.
Yeah. And I would say that it's a fear from not just the doctor or the practice owner. It's a fear from the patient. The
team members.
Yeah. The team members are sometimes fearful of what that automation entails for them, because how does that impact perhaps their role?
Right.
Sometimes that they feel that it's a negative when really it can be a great positive impact for them.
And I want, with technology nowadays, we can increase our patient interaction and communication upwards of over 400% right now. And it can be as automated or as customized as we want it to be with the technology we have. But I also I want to be able to customize it enough to where we don't lose that people connection and that touch. And so when we talk about the first place that I'm seeing a lot of AI is really, getting involved in this quickly, but automation and technology is with like pending follow-ups. And that's the one space that I do want to encourage our guests to not lose the people touch. The whole purpose, we talked about this on a previous segment, the whole purpose of that pending follow-up process is to just extend and maintain that relationship building that we created in the new patient exam.
I think that there's a way to combine both of them, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
You can streamline some of that automation, but really have strong touch points, especially in the first part of what that pending follow-up
Sure.
process
Yeah,
is.
as you get into the more the long-term pending, you don't want to lose that touch point, but you're right. You can, remove more of that customization. But treatment coordinators, we want to really encourage you to be able to take technology and utilize it, but don't lose your personal touch on it. Make sure that you're still taking, a follow-up process that you've created that's consistent, but that you're adding in some customization in some messaging and some parts of that follow-up that the patient can really feel that it's directly coming from you. So find that balance is where I feel like the recipe will thrive.
I've seen a lot of automation in that new patient phone call part too.
You know what? I'm really impressed with that, actually.
I am too.
I have, done a few new patient phone calls with some AI technology.
You've tried to trick it, haven't you?
I have. And it's, and of course we try all of the questions, the difficult questions that patients might try. We've heard it all. And it's really interesting. I'm really impressed with the new patient phone calls because you don't deal with somebody coming into work unhappy, angry, sick, calling out sick. It is done accurately 100% of the time. And some of them can actually even pre-sell to patients and pre-qualify your patients, meaning that you can combine it with marketing efforts that you have. And if a patient is calling and talking to on this new patient phone call, if they haven't seen a dentist in a certain amount of time that you've put these parameters in place, it will refer the patient on this phone call to the dentist that you're wanting to work with, or a dentist that maybe you're not currently working with and you want to start referring, so they'll refer back to you. So it is really, really time efficient. I feel like it's extremely effective, and it's only going to get better each month. Each year, this technology is just improving so quickly. So that is a great place.
I think it's a great
to
place
start incorporating it.
Especially for us as working moms. I know our oldest is now in orthodontic treatment, and we travel, we lecture, we are in client offices all the time. So my phone calls are not falling between that 8 to 5 time period. It's after hours. So it's a real benefit for me as a mom to be able to have some sort of AI process in place so that I can still schedule. I can still have my questions answered, and I can do it on my time, not their time.
I love the accuracy of it. It doesn't sound like you are talking to a robot. It does sound like that it is, you can even customize the voice on it and have it be your voice. So it's really interesting. I've also started, this has a long way to go, but I've also started to see technology that can assess and evaluate scheduling trends on your scheduling template. So it can help support evening out and leveraging the landscape of your scheduling template and recognize patterns. That's all AI is. It's recognizing patterns and responding accordingly. And so recognizing the patterns of the, high traffic times and how it can alleviate a lot of those bottlenecks within your scheduling template. So that's pretty exciting to see what's going to happen with that. And that's just going to really improve how we can serve our patients and that patient-centered experience, just like what you just talked about. I started talking about the benefit within the practice and saving time for team members, but you were just referencing the benefit to the patients, and we do recognize that this consumer now and this generation now is instant. If I think of something, I want to be able to have access directly. Look at our Amazon shopping patterns, right?
Don't look at mine, please.
At nighttime, like, oh, I need this, and it's instant. It comes the next day. And so the consumer wants that with their medical as well. And I don't want our industry to be fearful in adopting this technology to stay with what our consumers are not only expecting but demanding. So this really will set practices apart to be able to stay on the forefront of the change of what technology is doing.
I also have seen this really powerful in the TC exam room, providing some transcriptions. That is amazing for a new treatment coordinator who may not know how to transcribe or how the doctor wants those treatment card notes entered, what information that they need. So having something available to treatment coordinators to help streamline their process so that they can focus on actually converting those exams.
Let's talk more about that, because it will integrate with the letter system.
Absolutely.
It will integrate with any follow-up process, and it'll integrate with the treatment charting. So it is really remarkable in that space as well. So when we see this in practices and when we've helped to incorporate and set this up, let's talk a little bit about how we inform the patient that this is going to be included or a part of the process within our practice.
So when we talk about how it's going to be included, what does that mean? Because the patients really shouldn't know any different. They've never been to our practice before. They don't really know or understand a difference in AI versus this human touch, right?
So I have some practices early on in this process have used their cell phone for some of that. We now have software that we can incorporate into the computer, but on the cell phone, where they'll just put the cell phone down on the counter and they'll start something with it. And so they are notifying the patient, we're transcribing this so that I can be thorough and accurate. I'm going to send you a summary of doctor's treatment findings and treatment recommendations as well. And so it's just simply informing the patient, again, what's in it for the patient.
Which, as a consumer, I would be totally down for
benefit.
That. Totally.
So it is important that when we, incorporate this technology into our systems and our processes, we are not looking at it as a replacement to us, but an enhancement. And so then when we deliver that message to the patient, that's exactly what we should be helping the patient to understand as well. This technology or this process isn't here to replace what we're doing as treatment coordinators or doctors, but as an enhancement to our patient experience.
I love that. I'm also thinking about what other AI automations can we use in the practice that plugs some leaky buckets, ops programs, the growth and development programs. How do we leverage? I can see lots of things leveraging for automation with that to help benefit the team members from, having to run these reports. How do we automate that process? I think that's a great topic for us to talk about as well.
And that is well incorporated now. That is not, that's processes that we have available right now at our fingertips. And practices absolutely should be looking at ways to be able to stay connected and communicating with our patients. Now, as and let's talk a little bit about what we typically recommend with observation, growth, and development. Typically, when a patient comes in and they are not ready for treatment yet, the message to that patient is, everything looks great. You still have 7 primary teeth left. We're waiting for all your permanent teeth to come in, and then we'll take a look and most likely get started with treatment.
Oh, as a mom,
that could be one message, right?
Yeah, right. As a mom, I hear, oh, we're not ready yet. I don't need to come back in.
And you're counting how many primary teeth are left,
Correct.
how many baby teeth are left. And so in 6 months, when the appointment time comes up, mom's taking a quick look and we still have baby teeth, we're not ready to go. So that goes to the bottom of our priority list as busy moms. And so what we highly advise is that we help the patients and the parents see what is the doctor waiting for and watching for from this appointment to this appointment. We can tell on the x-ray, we can tell on their dental age, what teeth are going to be coming out next, and simply let the patient know your next appointment is going to be in about 6 months. It'll take approximately 10 or 15 minutes. Doctor's going to take a look and see these are the next teeth that should be coming out. Doctor wants to assess the permanent teeth that are coming in and make sure that they are erupting as expected. And if they're not, we'll take a look and see why. Simply helping the family understand the value from this appointment to this appointment. And then you have patients calling and saying, these teeth came out, doctor was watching these teeth, and they are preemptively contacting our office. We're not wasting a lot of time chasing after them. They're excited about it because they're vested in that. We call it growth and development for a reason. So that is a way to improve your growth and development program and help to plug those leaky buckets that we see every day. So in doing that, we can use technology to communicate with our patients. If we are notating and charting that as we should, because we should have just a continuation of education, no matter who the patient comes in and sees as a chairside technician. And so if we can just continue that message over into the texting and the communicating with our patients from those treatment charts and what doctor was waiting for and watching for, it's just a seamless level of communication and education to our families.
And when they're ready to start, they know what to expect, and we have a 100% conversion rate, which is the goal.
And again, if you're not getting a 100% conversion rate out of your observation program, something is broken. Those are your patients, and they absolutely should convert straight into treatment because you've utilized every opportunity and point of contact to educate and influence their decisions and timing into treatment.
So I steered us a little bit away from AI automations, which is okay. That was a powerful messaging to making sure that we're building value and how do we automate those processes a little bit. But
well, what about treatment planning? For the doctors.
Yeah.
And now, with aligners and with 3D printed brackets, the companies that are going to do those digital treatment plans for patients, that in and of itself is a no-brainer to do and incorporate AI technology and virtual appointments with our patients. I know there's a lot of conflicting messaging around patients wanting to come in and see us in the orthodontic office.
Right.
That becomes more about us and not them.
Right.
Not that they don't enjoy their time with us, but I don't think that they're lining up and waiting to come see us.
Well, because time is a currency for everybody. Everybody's busy.
Busy schedules and missing school and so forth. So we'll talk more about virtual appointments on a different segment because there's so much we can go into that. Right. And again, the messaging, the words we say, how we help the patient see what's in it for them is what is the winning recipe and that secret sauce to the success of that process.
I totally agree.
So there is, I definitely, when doctors can set up from that new patient exam and their clinical findings, that process, AI can manage and oversee the trends in their treatment planning as well. So this is just in its infancy, but I'm really excited to be able to watch how this is developed and how this grows over the next year, over the next 2 years. And we're not talking 5 or 10 years down the road. No. So it's really interesting how it's going to really open up a lot of time and benefit the providers, and then just make everything more accurate, more efficient for our patients. And so, this was a really, really great topic. There's so much more that we can go into this because it just is not going away. And we want to challenge you to not be fearful of change, not be fearful of adoption. Before you make changes and processes in your practice, help your team understand the why behind it. Help your team understand what it's going to do for their role, for the practice, and most importantly, for your patient's experience. When you get that buy-in, you have a greater level of influence to your patients and to your team members around you. So, find that balance between technology, adoption, and maintaining that authentic patient connection, and your practice will thrive, your patient experiences will thrive. So that's what's happening between two molars today. Remember, small shifts create big impact.
If you liked this episode, don't forget to comment and ask questions. We love to hear the feedback. Like, share, and subscribe to all of our content.
And we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so much.